The fella was injured, and then I think the fella ran away at night. No, the fella went home.
Poor guy, right? He's like, oh, I can't enough of this. You know, this whole tourism thing.
Welcome to the Stories We Tell Ourselves, a podcast created and hosted by Adrian and Cassey Chow. Join us in discovering the stories behind our thoughts, actions, and identities as we try to answer not just the whats and hows, but most importantly, the whys in life.
In this episode, we have a guest, Miss Cassey Chow, a tiny Malaysian girl who enjoys traveling solo. Adrian and I will be discussing with Cassey on the difference between solo traveling and traveling with people, what mindset a solo traveler should have, and advice to females in their 20s who's considering to travel solo soon. Hello, hi, I'm Cassey Chow. Welcome to the Stories We Tell Ourselves. This time we've got a guest here and my co-host here.
Hi, I'm Adrian, the co-host.
Yep. This guest that we have today is a mutual friend. What we found interesting about her is that she has traveled to 5 continents, over 20 countries, and she has always been traveling solo. Occasionally, she will have a buddy travel partner by the name of Pearl.
Hi, Pearl.
And she's doing all these things while having a full-time job, like compared to some of these days the YouTubers, they're like, the Wanderlust thing and so on. But she did all these things, and to top it all up, she also did all this stuff during the prime internet days, where sometimes like today, like anything so we're gonna do, we need to go and check, like the temperature, whatever not. But those days, where there's hardly any much information, or even there is also, it's like very scattered, and yet she still managed to travel to all these countries. I remember she was telling one day that she went to Mongolia. No, we're not talking about inner Mongolia. We're talking about Mongolia. All right.
I don't even know the difference, man.
So we have here Miss Cassey Chow. So today,
welcome.
Welcome, Cassey Chow. Okay, so let's start off with the Mongolia question, since you want to.
Seriously?
Yeah. Can you describe the difference between Inner Mongolia and Mongolia to our audience?
Mongolia is a country.
Okay.
Inner Mongolia is a state in China.
Why didn't they change the name?
I don't know.
Or is it just an English term or what?
No! Mongolia is a country!
No, I'm saying the Inner Mongolia, right? If it's part of China, right? Why don't they change it to some other name, Why call it Inner Mongolia? Did you ever ask the locals?
I don't care, but I think because a lot of Mongolians are in Inner Mongolia.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So that's why they kept it that way.
All right.
I think.
So enough of my ignorance. Let's move on.
But
I have another question, right? So pre-internet, right? Was Lonely Planet your best friend?
Yes.
Is it the best franchise for offline guide?
I only used Lonely Planet, so I think that's the best at that point of time.
Okay.
I know there's Frommer and whatever not, but I never used those.
Oh.
Only Lonely Planet.
Oh, okay. So, would you say that that Lonely Planet was the funnel that you saw the world through? Like basically that was the experience.
Not that you see the world through Lonely Planet, but it's just one of the best available guide at that point of time to navigate around, to get to know the place, to do research and everything else that you need to and also during trip you bring that whole thick book along.
Yeah.
I use it in China, I use it in India, and I use it in Korea.
Okay. And those were the countries that you visited pre-internet, I suppose? I mean, not pre-internet lah, but like
not but
before,
still, yes,
before it was
use.
useful enough for you to travel with, right?
Actually, I'm curious to find out like when did this travel bug started? I mean, as in like, what was your first trip that you remember as like your solo trip?
First solo trip. I don't know. Like since.
But you were in the 20s at that time?
I think uni time.
Uni time. Where did you do your uni?
Central Australia.
And then at one point in time, you also went to Japan as well, right?
Oh, that's study. And when I was in Japan, then of course we travel a fair bit within Japan. Yeah. Some solos, some with friends. Yeah.
How much of Australia did you see?
Actually, not much. Like the general, the Sydney, Gold Coast, Adelaide, Perth, and Central Australia.
What is Central Australia?
Ayers Rock?
You actually studied near Ayers Rock? Because that's what you said, right?
Oh,
you
sorry,
went to university, right? You went to university in Central Australia?
No, I went to university in Melbourne.
Oh.
I traveled. I thought you said how much I traveled.
Yeah, no. But I heard earlier. I thought I heard you say earlier that you studied in Central Australia. I'm like, what?
Why?
That's why I had to ask. That's why I had to ask about Australia.
But have you been to Ayers Rock?
No, man.
Actually,
I've only seen the overrated parts of Australia.
It's nice. It's a road trip from. It's kind of like uni organized, like the social club organized a tour. It's a road trip, so you join with a bunch of people. Probably I don't know them. So it's from Melbourne to Adelaide, Cooper PD, then all the way up to Alice Springs, Ayers Rock. Then you come back. So it's a camping trip.
Wow, that sounds awesome, man.
But what is Ayers Rock itself?
The Rock.
The rock that changes color. It's just because of the sunlight when it's the sunset and sunrise.
Yeah. But the journey, actually, it's quite interesting. Like one of my cousins who live in Adelaide, she did a driving trip from I forgot the names of all those Australian Aboriginal name towns, right? You know, but yeah, they actually drove up there. Like and then camped along the way, So, but it sounds really epic. It sounds like you're going through some alien landscape
because it's barren.
Yeah,
Australia outback is very barren. It's like nothing.
Yeah,
it's dry land.
Then they live in like caves, like stuff. Like you have like homestays you can stay, or like
you stay in
like
caves?
B&Bs.
That's Cooper PD, I think.
Oh, is it?
So Cooper PD is on road to Alice Springs. It's the mining. It's a mining town for opal.
Opals, yeah.
The gems.
Yep.
So the gully from underground, the dark because it's very hot. So people stay in. It's cooling as well. So it's part of the whole ecosystem in that area.
Okay.
It's just like Turkey, that Cappadocia, the ground that dug in and stay.
Yeah. Kind of like Tatooine, in Star Wars.
Yeah, I know. I know. I mean,
it's all over the place. All right, I'll let you take over,
the interesting bit is that that like I've got, because I'm not really like a travel person, right? And the very fact that like even though I've been to that place a couple of times, right, I cannot remember like the names at all and so on, right? So like for someone like for Cassey here who can remember like even the remotest town or the names or whatever not, right, really shows that someone is really passionate about traveling, and she knows the geography well, right? But for me, it's like I've got like absolutely maybe just no interest or something.
You're not curious enough, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
What do you? How do you decide where to go next?
I don't know.
Like, I guess your list gets shorter and shorter, right? But then but I'm sure the world is big enough that there must be a long list left.
How do I decide where to go? Yeah, it's a question that I've been asking myself as well, because I mean, of late, like, you really don't know where to go. As in, you can't find anywhere interesting enough lah. But before this, how do I decide? Like in the past, I think it's first, what do you want to do? Whether you want something outdoor or it depends. But there's a main bucket. You want outdoor stuff. Okay. You want to see city. You want to do shopping. Okay. So it's thematic, right?
But don't you always do all of it?
Correct. But there are some places that you will skip to a bit one more.
Right.
For example, the whole reason going to Mongolia is I want to do horse riding.
Okay.
There's no shopping, nothing.
Okay.
Right? And that's the theme.
Okay.
It's purely a horse riding. It wasn't like city tour as well.
Okay.
Just fly in, one night in Ulaanbaatar. Then the next day we fly out, join a group of less than 10 people, I think.
Okay.
Then fly out to did we fly out? I think fly out to some remote area, then start to do horse riding for one place to another.
Okay.
Then come back, finish the whole 1 week of riding, back to Ulaanbaatar and fly out. Just that.
Alright. So you didn't see Ulaanbaatar lah, basically, right?
I did lah, but a few hours lah, but still.
Okay.
But how was the experience like? I mean,
Very good.
When you are on the road, I say with the horse, was it the same horse?
Yes, of course you have to be friend with that one that won't make
What's
you
the
fall
name
off,
of your
right?
horse?
Actually, I don't know. But my horse, I think I
Maybe
changed
it's
horse
unpronounceable.
in the midway because the fella was injured, and then I think the fella ran away at night. No, the fella ran home.
Poor guy, right? He's like, oh, I had enough of this. You know, this whole tourism thing.
So that match is a New Zealand organized tour. There are many different people, like
So it's
different
organized by New
nationalities.
Zealander.
Yeah. So this guy will go every summer to bring tour into different part of Mongolia. It could be more advanced trip lah. Of course, he has his people. Then you have local wranglers to help you, to coach. You have people follow you around with the wranglers to ride with you. It's almost like one wrangler to two visitors. It's a very small group lah. Very small group. So we. Basically, he will tell you, show you the map, the topo, and then where are we riding. It's actually around the area lah. It's just that you don't feel that you are
Like you're going in circles lah. Right?
Yeah. But by right, I think you
are.
are going in circle. It's just that you may not know because the land is vast. It's vast land and it's green. And
How does it look like? I mean, you can explain like, is it like is there mountains and everything and so on?
it's spacious.
It's just like big grassland, right? I'm sure you Google, you all can find it, right?
Yeah.
It's nothing. It's nothingness. It's like it's a huge space, and you feel
What season did you go in? Summer.
You have to go summer because otherwise it's super cold.
Oh.
You can't ride after. I think till end of summer the tour stopped.
Oh.
It's so cold. Even during our time, it's
period.
cold.
Really?
Yes.
Even in summer, it's cold.
At night it's cold. It's because the temperature
it's-
difference.
right. It's almost like
so you can
desert-
see,
desert kind of,
ice.
like
slits
frost,
on,
right? Yeah.
frost on your tent at night.
Wow.
It's very cold, but it's very pleasant. I mean, during the day you have sunlight and no rain. It's a bit breezy. T-shirt, okay lah, jackets, whatever. But that's the best season to go into to see all this because otherwise it's extreme weather in Mongolia.
So, is it fair to say that you are the kind of traveler who primarily looks at the activity first, as opposed to something else like maybe the story or the history or the what motivates you the most, or what triggers your curiosity the most? Like,
I think a lot of things will get me curious. It's not just activities. It could be the place. Like India is not much of activities, right? Basically, it's the country itself. It's interesting enough. It's foreign. It's foreign, right? The whole thing. To be in India is different. So it's not just activity. It could be the place. It could be. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm a history buff. It's just that it's just curious why this place come to existence or why this place is like this. I just want to see with my eyes.
okay.
Then you just go. So maybe it can offer you not outdoor activities, but other things like just walk around and let your eyes feast on whatever
Experiential,
that's around.
right? What was the most surprising thing or the most surprising place that you've ever visited?
Place.
Or one of your travels, or what was the most surprising travel experience that you've had?
I think
all
the
these
most
years?
pleasant surprise is a pleasant one. It's people are generally kind. I think travel give you hope in humankind. Because it's not really that. It's like after all, people are generally nice. They are kind. Even in China or India.
Wow, one sentence.
Whoa! Half the world.
You experience very genuine people, very kind people. You don't feel. I think a lot of us will go out and think that this is going to cheat me. Sell me more expensive. I don't know why this fella is so friendly. But after all, right? Yeah, even in China, when there was a very long trip, I think it was about 2 months on the road. I don't feel they come and harass you because I think they see back then was like people see that, wow, this backpack fella and they're curious.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like they are cheating me, or they try to mark up the price, or they probably, I don't feel that bad. And I also encountered like I was staying in a hostel. I hang out with some people, and this girl, she knows that I have to take an overnight bus to somewhere or train to somewhere. She actually called the destinations to make sure that I've arrived. Of no reasons. Why would she want to do that? I'm going to see her then, and that's it. I won't be seeing her in the rest of my life or her life.
Wow.
Who cares if I'm going to, disappear or not? So that moment gave me a wow, like, she's nice. Like, why would she be bothered to call and check me out if I'm still around?
Do you think, right, this is more true in the innocent days where travel is not as mainstream as now,
I mean, it's like for example, I'm sure even these days you also travel as well. Do you see a difference? Let's say for example, let's say like China, right? So you've been back to China a few times. Is there a difference those days compared to these days in terms of travelers?
In terms of travelers?
Yeah, I mean, or at least the perspective of are people a little bit more cynical these days? And
I don't know. I don't change. It's like, to me, I still go in with open mind, as in you will be careful. You will have that skeptical mindset. Is it for real? And I am still like that probably. But but very soon you will tell yourself that not everyone is set out to be true.
Actually, I'm very curious. Like going very specifically or very specific to the detail, or let's say that particular moment, right? So where you meet a particular person, or let's say this person, like wanting to seem seemingly very helpful, or whatever not, right? So at that point of time, you of course have a choice, lah, right? You're like, is this person going to out to get me or not to get me? So what is actually your thought process at that point of time? Is like okay, I just go for it, or what? Because
touch wood, nothing happens before. Nothing bad happens. So I always tell myself, like, you boast about it, it's calculated risk, nothing happens. So okay lah, just go with it lah. I think, or maybe I just don't think that how bad can it be, or maybe I'm just naive to think that how bad can it.
Okay. No, but I think it's a better mindset to travel with.
Really?
Because I think to risk something amazing happening than to fear all the bad things happening. I think travel should be that way, because otherwise why are you traveling, right? Otherwise you might as well just cocoon up and stay in your go back hometown lah, whatever, But I think for me, like, at least the whole point of going somewhere far is that you become open to what it gives you, lah, right?
Also, it's the adventure that I like. It's something new, something different. Who knows?
What are some of these examples of these kind people, or at least the experience which was memorable to you?
Kind people. There are a lot lah. There are a lot of different incidents.
I like the story where the girl called the other end of the trip, right, to find out if you're there.
There's this one in US that was quite some time ago. So I was staying. I checked into a hostel in Brooklyn. It's a house. It's not even like what like bunk beds and whatever. Not that particular one. I checked in. It's almost like a house. Go in. Then when I checked in, there's another, I think American check-in as well, waiting to go in. And then this fella came. There's no proper receptionist, nothing. So the fella came late, and then he saw both of us. Then we went in and he said, "Oh, I only have one double bed left." Then, you guys okay? We said, we are not together. It's a quite low there. I said, no, we're not together. Yeah, but that room has it's a room with 3 double beds. There are 2 couples already taken, and there's one left. He said, yeah, but I only have one left, but you guys okay? Like, he keep asking. I said, no, it's not okay. So, but it's a cheap one. I think he's a bum travel or whatever. So then we said, then I think we kind of agree. It's okay, we just take it, right? But I think the other guy was saying that, is there any makeshift bed or whatever, or no, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, okay, you figure it out.
Yeah.
Whatever. So the double bed is mine. So at night, so we come back, and then there are people in the room sleeping or whatever. Then of course I take the bed, and he slept on the ground, just next to the bed. I think there's one blanket or two. So in the middle of the night, I think he's cold or whatever. He did not creep out. He just pulled the blanket. He just continued to sleep on the floor. It's nice enough, right? Probably you see that this tiny Asian girl, she's not that. So let's. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nothing wrong with.
Yeah.
If I were to be afraid at the point of the check-in time, I probably have to go, right?
Yeah.
It's either he go or I go. So probably he thinks that I will go, but I didn't go. So it was 2 nights. He slept on the floor.
Yeah. No, but I think there is such a mindset when you're traveling, right? That you feel that, or at least that's how I feel. Like you feel like if you're going somewhere new and someone else is also new to that place, right?
Yeah.
You will feel that you are kind of like experiencing something. It's like you are just part of something bigger, like a bigger community, right? And that you kind of understand each other, and then you try and make things work, right? So that everyone has it's like the best, like the best, the best you can make out of the situation, right? So that everyone has a win-win thing. And I think there is a spirit, they call it, that there's that travel spirit that everyone brings with them when they are when they're traveling, it's kind of like similar to this thing where I hear they call it trail magic, where people on hiking trips, right? What they do is because everyone understands the difficulty, the challenges, and how unpredictable being on the trail can be, right? There is this pouring out of kindness that happens everywhere. People leave water for other people. If they have like extra food, they'll leave it for the next person. Or if they find that they're carrying too many things, they'll leave some behind and says, if you need a jacket or a blanket, you just take it. And then some people will show up from outside nearby town. They'll come and then they'll cook by the roadside and feed the hikers and all that. So there is a word for it. They call it trail magic, And I think to a certain extent, it happens almost everywhere else in traveling as well. That there is some kind of travel magic that happens when you are, when you're kind of like out there, especially when you're in solo mode, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's what's nice about it, And I'm sure from those, how many 20 over countries that you've been to, I'm sure you've seen, you've met, I'm sure you've come across a lot of that, right?
Yeah. Besides that, what are the examples that really change your perspective, of humanity?
Of course, there are also. Is there any not so pleasant? Of course, there are not so pleasant experience as well, but you just have to. Well, you're on the road. You're open for adventure, so you don't complain whether it's bad or it's good. You just have to take it lah. That's part of the whole trip, right?
What have you learned from the negative experiences, right? That you have since applied in your travels, that you could, or at least the lessons you've learned from it.
So far, I don't recall I've experienced anything that is extremely bad or any really, really bad ones. No, it's just like in India, there are a lot of like people like we were buying. We wanted to buy train tickets, so we walked into the train station in Delhi. And this guy been following us, so keep asking, I sell tickets, but it feels not right lah. Someone from outside of the station and try to pester you. Then he followed us all the way to the station into the counters where there's an information counters. We were asking the lady where can we buy the ticket. He was still like next to us and come follow me. The lady actually gave us eye signal that don't follow him. and there's another place where they help foreigners to buy tickets. So I mean that's very minor thing. It's nothing.
In our Hollywood infested brains, we probably think that he's some kind of serial killer, right?
Exactly.
But most likely he's just trying to make an extra buck, on the black market,
I've never experienced. I've not experienced anything like super bad that it
like stop you from traveling at least to that country,
leave
right?
a bad mark. Oh no, I don't remember. To me, it's just like most of the time it's really pleasant surprise. Most of the time, seriously.
Do you miss traveling the way you used to do it versus how you travel right now?
How different do I travel right now?
I'm assuming it's different that with technology and with the vast research that you can do online about a place before you go. But I'm actually wondering if all those things are even useful for
the best
experience.
Like for me, I tend to overdo it with regards to research.
Yeah, over prepare, right?
Yeah, you over prepare because you perhaps because traveling is something which is something which I would like to explore, but it's not really high up in terms of my priority list, right? So I just want to kind of like, okay, I've done this, that kind of thing. It's almost like at this point in time, I hate to say it, but it's almost like just checking off the list in that way, right? Okay. Rather than like going in with like what Cassey says, like an open mind, adventure, and just see what happens, what unfolds in front of you. Yeah. So I think it's also my personality to do extra research to make sure that everything's okay, right? I remember Cassey was saying that you don't do too much research, then it's just gonna be you're not open.
But that is. But you also haven't done solo traveling.
No, I'm not done.
Right?
I'm not done really solo traveling.
I mean, you have one upcing, right?
Yeah, but
that will be the first. Are you over researching it now?
But I'm researching the maximum out of it. Make sure this, got that.
Optimize.
Like check like 10 websites. Make sure it's
coherent, make sure they all say the same thing.
Yeah, so it's but when like my question to you is like when do you stop and allow, I don't know, serendipity to take over and so on,
or spontaneity.
Yeah, right.
I don't know where to stop. It's like at one point after you're reading so much, is okay,
enough
like as if I've been there already. Then just stop. I think everyone is different. To me, I will do research. Not that I don't do research. I still do a lot. I do a lot of readings and I research. Just that you don't miss out on the special things, right?
Yeah.
But why not though? why not, right?
Why not missing out on stuff? If you don't know, you don't know. See, that's a problem also, right?
But it's good, right? If you don't know, I don't know. I mean, like I sometimes get a kick out of like saying that, oh, I went to this place and I never saw that famous thing,
The famous to me is not the tourist spots or whatever. Sometimes I read maybe I'm gonna make sure that I don't miss out the good food.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about that, right? That must be like a major part of traveling,
so
right?
What's the must eat? So that one I read a lot.
How adventurous are you with your diet? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself?
8.5.
What?
Yeah.
8.5 is pretty high.
I'm not restricted by anything. It's just whether do I want to eat or not. I don't have any restrictions.
How do you judge if something is like if you're going to eat something, right? Like based on its looks, like what is it? The idea that would deter you, or it's just what it looks like, or would you even like research about that thing before
Not too exotic. Like don't put a snake in front of me.
Okay, so no snakes,
or guinea pig. The whole head, 4 legs and ears all poking out. No.
But if they cut it up, you eat it, right?
I don't know.
No, because I mean it is a very big part of traveling, right?
Like
most people I know, like that's why they travel anyway. It's like, oh, let's go eat this place and that place,
So like for example, I remember you were saying about your back to the Mongolia trip, right? So you want to share a little bit about what was your meal like in the wilderness?
Oh yeah, that would be what is it?
There's a cook that follow us and prepare most of every meal, not most every meal. The interesting part is that I remember beginning of the trip. Then when we were resting in the campsite, then this one of the wrangler brought in a lamb, a sheep, meh.
Like a live one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can pet.
Yeah.
Then,
Cue dramatic music.
yeah, but we know that they will slaughter the filler and it's gonna be our food for the trip. So
Did they have a ritual for the slaughter? Did you?
no ritual, but I was looking forward for that moment. As in,
For the slaughtering? Oh, it's an experience, right? Yeah.
so the boy is very young, he's very skillful. So basically, you hold that lamb, right?
Yeah.
You hold that lamb, then very very skillful. Is one small knife.
Yeah.
He just slit his chest here, the throat, the chest.
Yeah.
And his hand went in and just break the
neck.
not neck, it's the heart or whatever. Stop
Stop the breathing maybe.
yeah, just go in, and then very very skillful, very clean. So the fella died, then cut up, take out the skin. Then it's usual. I think this is not this is not just Mongolia. I think everywhere they slaughtered, a lot of people, those local, they will eat the innards. The blood, the intestine, the hearts, no wastage. So they eat the innards. They offer to us if you want to eat. Then I think they cut the parts and keep it throughout the trip. So there's barbecue. There's
so that sheep fed you for
no
how long?
There was 1 or 2 meals. It's just a small. Yeah, it wasn't the.
Because I've heard. In fact, I've seen some videos of like elaborate rituals.
Why?
That happen with when like a tribe, when they are about to slaughter an animal for food, right?
Okay.
They actually what's interesting is their perspective of it is that they're actually thanking the animal. They're making it, it's a sacred gift that this creature gave its life for feeding you, So I would imagine that is quite it's probably a bit heart pumping experience to see, or maybe for some even too gory, right? But I think there is a beauty in that because most cultures they eat what is available to them, right?
Yeah.
So if you can't grow vegetables there, you can't expect them to be vegetarian, right? So and for them the food is very intentional and very purposeful, right? Like this we raise this one, but it's just like that, it fulfills its destiny, right? Which is something very 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 generous to the community.
Which country would you like, or which countries would you go back again and again?
Everyone that I've visited.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Do you have something planned next? What is your next solo trip?
Poland.
What are you looking forward to most?
The hiking. So there's one part of Poland, the south Poland, between Poland and Slovakia. Yeah, so that's the Tatras range, where they say it's very nice for treks, and the treks are not the. It's very well paved with very clear path to all these tracks. So it's very doable if you do it on your own.
And then what how long is the track?
It's a day track.
Oh, it's a day track.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not the one. It's not. Yeah, I think they do have those that you camp and go in the mountain, but no, I'm not doing that. It's just day trip.
How high is this range? Like, how do you know the altitude you're dealing with?
Couple of thousands, I think. It's not too bad. It's It's not I don't think, because it's so easy. If people can do it day trips, it's not the difficult one. It's not like KK or whatever.
Okay.
So it's the easier one.
Is there something in particular about that track that you are
No,
you're
I was
interested
just
in?
looking for something outdoor.
Okay.
And inexpensive. Poland is inexpensive.
Oh, really?
Considerable
For Europe.
Consider Europe, yeah.
Okay.
So,
And what? How long is this trip going to be?
just about 10 days.
Okay. But the hike is only one day. Like you clearly
No, I'm
have
gonna stay there to
9
do a
other
few
days.
hikes.
Okay. So it's a few. But how far is this place from wherever you are flying to?
Flying to Krakow. I stayed a few days in Krakow. So Krakow is also a very nice European old cities, and
Okay.
it's nice lah, I think. And then half of it will be out in the nearby this place called.
Is it normal for you to plan your trips this way, where you have, like you were mentioning earlier, there's the, if the place has the ability to offer, right? City, outdoor, and shopping.
Yeah.
Like, is this, like you always try and find the balance for this?
If I can schedule it that way, that would be ideal lah.
Okay.
That, you can fulfill a few buckets. If cannot, then it depends lah. Let's say you're supposed to go Uzbekistan, right? During Raya time. There's no shopping there.
Yeah.
But this is purely to experience I don't know what you call old world, middle of Asia.
Well, Samarkand, right?
Samarkand, all this area. What you see is just malls and malls and malls, right?
Yeah.
Not much of shopping, but maybe,
I'm sure there is like local shopping, right? That would be really awesome.
I was looking forward
right?
to buy dried fruits and nuts.
Yeah, I'm sure, right? Because that's the part.
But
of the world.
that it's not shopping lah. You see.
Oh, what do you mean by shopping then?
Macam Bangkok,
So you're talking about women's shopping, is
so
it?
I will still go. You see, it fulfill a different buckets of or whatever you want.
Yeah,
It's just curious, right?
Yeah, of course, right?
What are these people doing in middle of Asia?
No, I would love to go. I think Central Asia is something that's very high on my list, to see.
Is that like a bucket list for both of you? I mean, it's like in terms of like travel, like.
For me, Central Asia, man.
Really?
Central Asia and probably more of Japan, or at least that's for now, lah. I don't think too much about US and Europe because it's too far. Unless I have a lot of time and money on my hands, China would be nice, but I don't know, something is keeping me away from it. China and India,
right?
As interesting and grungy as they are, but I think for me, my priority is to experience grand nature. Like I want, like someone even used the term on me. It's like you like to see what's severe about nature, So like so I actually have this on my bucket list. I don't know if I ever told you also, but one of my dream travels is to go tornado chasing. So for me, that is what I would go and do. Like I want to see nature in its grandest forms, So if I can go to the moon, I would do it. Like for me, that is that's what I'm interested in, lah. I can't say much about shopping, lah. Maybe fruits, dry fruits, maybe nuts, okay, lah. Since I'm vegetarian. But I'm probably not as sensible as she is, lah, when it comes to travels. So
how about for you, Cassey?
Bucket list?
Yeah, I mean like a travel place that you
my bucket list.
if you have like all the time, or at least what's if for example, let's say,
like if you have one last place to go.
Yeah, and let's say today you win like super lottery or whatever lah, then no need to.
Then I have everywhere that I can go.
Yeah,
no, lottery, no. We have
bound, is it?
We have to do this like in the whole grand. The stories we tell ourselves, the why of life thing, right?
Okay.
If let's say you were told that you have a week left to live, and there's only one place left you can travel to, right now, what would it be?
I don't know. That's the thing. That's what I say. Like, I didn't say it earlier. So I think it has changed from. That's why when you travel in your teens, in your 20s, in your 30s, and whatever, it's different. Different in the sense of your own. The important is your own capacity to enjoy the travel.
Yeah.
Is it long travel? Is it short travel? The kind of activities that you do, the kind of accommodations that you can bear with. It has changed, and
Agree.
I'm glad that I traveled to different places at different, throughout since young. Whatever you like, I think that backpack to China or India, it's so cool. Would I do the same way? I probably not, right? Is it because I cannot take that kind of stress anymore, or is it I don't find it interesting anymore? So it has changed.
For sure.
So I once thought that the Trans-Siberian train is so cool, I must do it.
Have you done the Trans-Siberian?
No. And I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
I lost interest. The whole train ride from Beijing to Moscow, whatever.
There's also like 100,000 hipsters who have done it, right?
Yeah, so it's kind of like, right? So your interest has changed. I want to go to Athens, but now Athens is just Athens. But
it is, right?
It has changed lah. It has changed. But one place I've never been to is South America long. If you ask me that, South America.
Any part of South America, you have not.
Came very, very close, but didn't happen. Yeah.
So that is the one that got away lah for now. Like hasn't quite happened yet lah. Like why do you think that hasn't happened? What has kept you from it?
Pearl got robbed, so I cancelled the trip.
So you were already on a trip, but your friend Pearl
she was there,
couldn't make it.
She was there. We supposed to meet in, I think we saw Argentina or Brazil. She was in Argentina, Buenos Aires. She got robbed, and that dampened her spirit lah. Basically, her wallet all gone, phone all gone. So she can apply her credit card, but it's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same.
So she wanted to go home, and I bought my ticket, supposed to go, but what to do? So it was like, should I go on my own, or should I still proceed, or just cancel the trip?
What was that plan supposed to be? What were you supposed to see?
We're supposed to meet in Brazil, somewhere in Brazil. Then we're supposed to do Patagonia. We're supposed to track Patagonia.
So it was a trekking trip. Yeah. Okay. And how long was it supposed to be planned for?
I think 3 weeks.
Wow.
4 weeks, 3 weeks.
Wow, that would be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, South America has that charm. Like it's very mystical, very very interesting, charming, colorful. But there's that element, the streetness of it, especially
it's still
like
foreign
like the
to me. To me, it's still very foreign. So that's the interesting part, right? You go somewhere you want to experience.
Yeah.
It's foreign. It's new.
Yeah.
It's something that you have never experienced before. Of course, you still can go back to Bangkok and Hong Kong, whatever. That's nice, but that serves another purpose,
it's different.
Right?
It's like
but there are places that
like a recharge only, like a short recharge, right? But like as far as adventure, it has to be something that helps you grow, lah, right? That helps you, that kind of like maybe change your perspective on things, right? Or
it's never not to the extent life changing lah, not that great, but at least something interesting.
No,
something
so when you go for a
foreign.
travel, I mean, I keep hearing the word adventure. So when you go for such a travel, not the short trips and whatever, not right? Is there? Although you say there's nothing that you kind of look forward to, you just go and just experience it, right? But is there something which you want to experience, or is there like somewhat like an expectation to say that or what is that feeling that you want to get when you go for such a trip?
New things that excite me lah. The people is like that. That's how people live there, or something that I don't know before. I never knew that this is like this. So it's learning, but it's not like what is this learning gonna be? It's not your career, but it's just like it's experiential. It's most important. It's something new and something. It's like that. That excites me lah. That's why food is a very important part, right? Because it's the quickest way to get the experience, right? Like,
really,
yeah.
That's nice, what is this, right? I don't know. I mean, food. I imagine, right?
Food, people watching.
People watching, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be actually. But we almost never schedule these things in, which is very, very strange, right? Like
when you travel in group, you can't do that.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah.
When you travel alone, you can. That's the best thing of solo traveling, right? You manage your own. You are just on your own. Do whatever you want.
Would you say solo travel and traveling with just one other friend is more similar or very, very different?
It's still different.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's different, but would you say that, let's say, traveling with just one other person versus traveling with like 5 other people, like would you say the difference between solo and one buddy is way smaller than
Then it depends who is this one person that you travel with.
Okay. So
whether this one fellow has the same mindset or expectation that you have
okay.
towards traveling.
So,
if this person is not about people watching, it's like, why am I wasting time here?
Right. Of course, right? So is there a reason? So would you say that's the reason why you travel with Pearl a lot?
Because you have like similar.
Yeah, very similar. Like what interests you, right?
Very similar. Yeah.
Well, that's great to find, no? Like a real travel buddy, because I think there is an advantage of having someone who is so synced with you on a trip, because there's just some things that just having someone else around is much better
share the cost.
Yeah, one thing, share the cost, right? And two is like
check your bag. Check your bag when you go toilet.
Yeah, exactly, right? Stuff like that, right? Or just seeing, like, basically just 4 eyes as opposed to 2 eyes, right? Just being able to sense more and detect more stuff, or or just
you have to have the same rhythm lah if you want to travel with someone.
Yeah. And was this travel buddy Pearl of yours someone you discovered from traveling with like multiple partners before, and then that one, or it's just someone you knew from before and it just worked out?
Not that I have tried travel with a lot of people. I think it's just fated. But by chance that we were studying in Japan, then one thing lead to another, then she thinks she's also like to travel, I like to travel, then we keep in touch, then we go India. When you go, if you can survive India with another person, I think you can survive.
Yeah, you have compatibility, very high compatibility,
yes,
right?
Yes. So I have other friends that I travel to, not that I've traveled with, but friends that you can travel with or you cannot. You have a very good friend, but that doesn't mean that you can travel with this person.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But sometimes you like to travel with different people. So maybe you have a friend that likes to eat. You travel with the friends that you want to eat, and then you travel with your friend that likes to eat.
Yeah.
But it's served different.
How often do you travel?
Not very often.
No?
No.
Not as often as you like it to be. Yeah.
So is it like do you have like 1 or 2 major trips a year? When you say when I say major, I mean like intercontinental right? That would be major right? And then like every month or every 2 weeks you are
actually I
going
travel
somewhere?
Less now. I travel less than before.
Okay.
So much less, I think.
Okay. Is there a reason, or?
Like I say as you are in different stages of life, right?
Yeah.
Whether is it because financial commitment, you cannot just splurge on travel.
Okay.
It could be, right? Or the time.
Yeah. More responsibilities at work, kind of thing, right?
It's different. When before this, you just spend. To me, before 30, like everything I save is for traveling. There's no other commitment. Right? Yes, you save because you want to travel. That's it.
Yeah.
Everything.
Would it be the same kind of advice we would give someone a female in their 20s who is like kind of like in between? Like, I mean, as in like they're not very sure they want to like really do this travel thing, or should they like buy a house or whatever? I think in their
buy
20s,
more shoes.
But
I have friends that would think that, why do you want to spend 10,000 for a trip? I can get 10,000 a handbag with that 10,000. You see, there are different people.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Yeah.
There are different people.
So I mean, let's say for someone who's like in the middle, they're on the fence, right?
Go travel for sure. It's something that will stick to you for your life. It's so much that you learn when you're on a trip. You see how small you are. You see how big the world is. You see like there's so many things outside of your.
But that is only true, right? If when you travel, you don't put yourself in the middle of every photograph.
I also take photos, but
no, but you take photos. Yeah, I understand, right? But there are people who travel only to take a photo of themselves there, right? That is not the same, right? I think.
That's
their handbag lah. That's their version of handbags lah.
That's not.
It's a fashion accessory, those photos.
It's the best investment, right? You still can invest in a house or whatever eventually, but like I say, your capacity to travel when you are at different stages of life is very different. So, once I was walking in I think in Sapa or whatever. I walk very fast. Then this old lady was walking quite slow, so I would take. I heard what she said at the back. 後生真係好.
Oh,
You see?
wow.
Because she was struggling, it was a very long hike that we did. We
Yeah.
were together in the same group. You know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You can't do everything, you know.
Yep. Yeah, actually, it's like for me, it's like I'm reflecting a lot these days as my parents age, my uncles and aunties, right? Their mobility goes down, their health goes down, right? And then, because, once in a while I take them on trips, or at least I try to help organize and bring them somewhere, right? And the amount of consideration you have to give to their physical abilities, their tolerance for certain things, right? You have to be very sensitive to it, and I almost feel like, wow, you are never sensitive enough for how they feel about certain things, like for example, just walking up the stairs, like for your case, right, your dad, right, your dad has mobility issues, right? So they're just some things that you cannot put into the travel, no matter how much you want to do it, right? But yeah, and then reflecting that on how eventually that's your your destiny also, eventually, right? So to not experience what you can while you can, could be a shame, I think, for those who are, aware enough to care about it, right? But, and I think it's a good message for those who are looking for something and not sure, I think is to understand that, the stage in life is a window, right? And that if you can make the most of it while you can,
but actually, I was wondering, for someone who is on the fence, like what goes through their minds? Why are they fearful of wanting to go for the travel? Instead of is it
danger?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's put it this way. I think right. A more common thought process is that the cost or the investment they have to put into that travel is an opportunity cost for other things that might be of higher priority at that point of their lives. Right? And that sometimes things like, it might be dangerous, or the ticket's so expensive because I booked later and then Asia raised the price, right? But those might be just excuses for them to justify the fact that they don't care enough about having that experience, right? And I think it's very normal for a person to feel that there is a bit of effort and there is a bit of discomfort, right? When you travel, no matter how well planned it is or how retail the travel may be, right? There's always a bit of discomfort, right? You have to go early to the airport, you have to get on a plane, have to check in the hotel, have to learn some foreign language, or have to learn, right? I mean, a lot of people don't want to put up with that when they can easily just have as much a good time shopping all day long at outlet stores or something, right? So I think to break that barrier of saying that discomfort is actually good. In fact, maybe the word discomfort shouldn't even be used, in a sense that
I think it's an opportunity for growth, right?
Yeah, or is it an opportunity?
I mean, the very fact that when you do hard things, you grow, is it?
Yeah. But I think even then, people don't they don't gravitate to that word, like grow, like why, grow. I naturally grow, I'm growing old, growing fat, growing whatever, right? You're growing regardless of what you do, right? But to invest your time and effort and your life into something that is beyond your bubble, it is actually something that is difficult, and it's probably a muscle that we have less and less of today, because you can just experience, like you go on YouTube, okay, I've been to Greece, done. It's very easy, right? That there are these little what's the word? Little nuggets of experiences you can get, right? That you can justify and go, that doesn't look as interesting as I thought, Or you look at videos about Thailand, it looks like Malaysia, looks like Cambodia. Why should I go to both countries, right? But but when you do it, it's different, right?
Or maybe growth is very vague lah. For me, maybe to certain people, certain thing. But for me, it makes you bolder.
What does that mean?
imagine you are all on your own, take the night bus, go here, take train, and it makes you have to be bold, right?
Yeah. And actually, I like what she just said, in the sense that I think it is something that worth reminding people, whether you're young or old. I don't think you should make this distinction, right? Is that we all live with these fears or these concerns in life, right? Oh, what if this, what if that, right? But when you experience something that lifts that away, right? If you can remember that feeling where like, oh, it's not as bad as you think, It's like my hike, I was talking about my hike in Thailand, right? Yeah. It's like, oh, you think you're gonna fall, you think you're gonna die from a mosquito bite, the bee bites you, half my body was numb, you think like, oh shit, shall I get a helicopter to fly me into the hospital? Like you're wondering about all those things, right? And then you just like, you like it or not, you just have to keep walking, and then you go after that, or these things sort itself out and it works out, right? And then suddenly you're in a head space, right, where you realize that, shit, man, all those things that I fear, all those things that I'm worried about, right? It's nothing, and then now, right, if you ask me, I go like, oh, let's go to this jungle, let's go to this jungle, I'm like, I'm reminded of this one of our hikers, right? Cecilia from Hong Kong, hi Cecilia, if you're listening, right? So she was struggling with our hike, and then she fell, she was tired, and then she like to the point of breaking down and crying, on the hike, right? And then by the last day and the second last day, right, she was already like over it, she's like, fall again. Then she just laugh as opposed to cry, and then she's like, tired, never mind, if tired, sit, we all sit with you, like that feeling of like overcoming all these mental barriers, right? Even though they are physical, but a lot of it is mental, because with the mental barriers you can overcome, right? And then by the end of the hike, it's that funny, she's saying, right, I tell you now, because of me in Hong Kong, and then she was saying, I tell you now, when my friends say, oh, let's go to this hike, let's go to that hike, right? My immediate reaction is like, nothing lah, this kind of hike, please lah, what is that, right? Like she's grown lah, grown so much, even though I don't think the word we think about is like, oh, I want to grow, I want to do this hike so that I can grow, right? We don't think about those things, we don't use those words in our head, right? But naturally, I think that experience of just overcoming your bubble, that bubble of fear, right, that we all live with, right, is, I think, worth reminding people, right? And I think for someone who travels a lot, like you can see, from what I know, Cassey, right, you can see like she the word that I will use on her, right, is that she always looks unfazed.
Unfazed.
Yeah. Unfazed.
Unfazed lah, like phased, F-A-Z-E, right?
Yeah.
Like nothing phased, like nothing is a big deal to her, like she's always this cool, like, okay, that's fine. Oh, that's also fine, right? And I think a lot of it comes from her experiences of just constantly overcoming all those discomforts and the bubble of fear that we all have, right? We probably never lose all of it, but the muscle to get us through that thing, right, is a muscle that you can strengthen, and travel is probably one of the best way, if not the best way to do it.
It's interesting.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think we come to the end of
come to the end of the first
first volume,
first segment of the first episode of the first season with Cassey Chow. We can create like a whole travel channel around her experiences.
So in closing, is there anything that you discovered about yourself today through this conversation, or anything new that you discover or you're reminded of again?
I have to tell myself to travel more. There's whole lots of benefits to it.
Such as? like what?
Well, life is short.
That sigh is because you mentioned that you haven't been traveling enough, right? And suddenly you're made fully aware that,
enough said.
The sigh was the answer. Everything else was just like, let's just fill up the silence with some words that everyone already understands from the sigh.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, how about you, Adrian? Is there anything you learned from today, man?
I learned that there are people who travel very differently from me and from everyone else. Like I guess we all, like, and to be to tap into their mental or their perspective on travel is very interesting because the experience that they get would be something that I will probably never get because I don't have that perspective. Like I never factor, for example, shopping into my travels. Never, absolutely not. But it happens. It
always happens. Right? You're the one who always brings back the most stuff.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say here, right? Yeah. Is that I don't plan for them, but when it happens, right, it is so exhilarating, It's like, what? They got this here. I want this, or like sometimes I actually don't, right? Like
maybe you don't factor in because it's given. It's part of it. It's part of a deal that
no, but I don't
have to.
I don't want to actually. Like I don't know if you know this, but I actually try and travel with no check-ins, right? So if I don't check in, right, I'm limited to what I carry, right? Most of the time I actually don't buy anything. But it's on occasions when like, okay lah, no choice lah, you go somewhere for like, 3 weeks or something, okay lah, check in one bag or just book the check-in just in case, right? And then you have all this check-in, right? And then suddenly all these possibilities emerge, like, oh, that's a nice bag. Maybe I can buy stuff and put in that bag and check that in, But that makes it more like, wow, it's like, wow, it's like a bonus lah, Like so to me, like the idea that I don't plan for it and then it happens, right? I think like to me that is like the fun part, but it's something that I like in her case, right? That the shopping somehow is planned into it, right? Like for me, it will never happen. Like I'll never spend like 2 hours. Let's go somewhere and like just walk around and buy stuff. Like for me, it's always like, okay, while I'm waiting for someone to get their massage, I got nothing. Okay lah, then I walk around the mall, while they be waiting for them to be done, or like I'm too full to sit down somewhere and have coffee and a cake or something, right? Or and then then it happens, so that serendipity. Okay. Something that I like,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And you have to chime in as well.
What I learned, I guess it's perhaps like what you said about the muscle bit lah. It's like I always look at travel as pretty stressful lah. Traveling is pretty stressful for me. The very fact that you have to do the research, you have to book, then it's
like a job to you, right?
Yeah, I know it's all these things, right? But however, the outcome of it, or the benefits of it, really outweighs everything lah. In terms of what you learn and also what you never expect you still learn as well, right? Perhaps maybe I didn't see travel as an outlet for growth. To me, it's more of like travel. I think maybe since young, travel is a very adult thing to do. It's like when you're young, right? You
just follow.
It is like you follow. I mean, it's like, and then at the time when we were younger, we didn't really have like that, like super lot of money to travel in that sense, right? So most of the time, the only time I remember we really did travel is when my parents made some money. So I was in Form 5. Then that was like my first kind of like major trip. We did quite a few travel that year itself, like to Thailand and to Sydney and whatever not, right? But it was like to me the concept is a very adult thing in the sense that like you make money, then you travel. It's not like you travel because you want to see the world, whatever not, and so on. It's a very ang moh kind of thing,
Right.
It's a very like, I see this person, right? The worldview which I have is like, we see this ang moh, they're so carefree, right? They make all the money they have, then they just spend it,
Or they work for 3 months, then they travel for 9 months,
right?
It's like
I keep hearing that from the community that I was in, you know, in a sense. It's like, although it's as though like it's kind of like a bad thing, you know, in a sense, no. So so that's how I feel about it. It's like oh, that means you're not responsible, you know, you're not getting a house, you know, you're not settling down, you know, you're not, you know, whatever.
You're not investing in a house.
All these things, you know, it's like as though that an Angmo who worked 3 months to travel 9 months kind of thing, right, is an irresponsible person. So to me, you know, that has always been my worldview about travel, right?
So you still have that stuck in you, lah. Like part of you just feels like, oh, if I travel, it's like, oh, super irresponsible.
Yeah, like even like now, like even after this, like an hour of conversation and so on, maybe it will take a while. It changed a little bit of how I feel it, but I think it's still very ingrained in me about like this, like traveling in that sense. You know, so even if you want to travel, also must travel with family. You know, it's a family thing. You know, it's not like why would you want to go travel solo for what? You know,
but you are going for a travel.
Yeah, exactly.
Travel,
so
right?
I'm just trying to understand that part of it myself a little bit more, right? So that was where like that's why this year I was like, suddenly it wasn't even part of my plan, right? So as you can see, I'm a super planner, right? So you know,
wow, that's like 2 birds right now.
Yeah, so it was like okay lah, you know. So I was saying like let's do a solo trip, right? Because I've not done before, like a solo trip. I mean, I went with you to Philippines and so on. I mean, that's different lah, you know. It's different.
Yeah.
So
that's like going to war.
Yeah. so even right, the solo trip, right, like to me it's so overplanned. No? Like I'm trying to engineer, right?
Wow, the perfect experience.
Yeah, you know, it's like since I'm going for a solo trip, let's make it hard. Let's go India. You know that it's, you know, that kind of mentality. You know,
I mean, for the audience, right? Kausen will be traveling to Rajasthan.
Rajasthan,
right? And only around that part, right?
Yeah, Rajasthan.
So couple of months. So we will talk to him again. When it's done, or if he comes back.
If I want to come back.
If you want to go. Okay. So I think we should end it here because otherwise we will keep going on forever. This has been the Stories We Tell Ourselves podcast with our wonderful guest here, Miss Cassey Chow.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for that warm up session you've given us. Of the many that will eventually happen as well.
Yeah.
And find us on all the major podcast platforms. As you know, we are also on YouTube. So like and subscribe, leave us a comment, tell us what you think. If there is something that you'd like us to talk about, or if you have any questions about the whys in life, you know, the hows and whats too, if you care about it, drop us a line and we'll try and chit chat about it, you know, at some point someday. So bye.